All right, guys, here's my reaction to the patch notes today. I'm just going to go through them real quick, and we'll let my talking do the rest of the story here. So let's start it off, and let's get hot here. Hero updates. Orisa. Health bonus reduced from 125 to 75 when in Fortify, which changes a grand total of absolutely nothing. I don't really see the point of this nerf at all. I think that you should just allow her to be headshot maybe during Fortify. But if you really wanted to nerf Orisa's tankiness, it's her cooldown cycle that's so good, right? It's doing this doesn't really change anything at all. But again, the balance team will just find, they're like the Cowboys in the playoffs. They'll find a way. Trust me. If they can let you down, they will let you down. So let's keep it going here. Talk a little bit about the Roadhog changes, which I find to be a little disappointing, but let's go ahead and talk about them real quick. So chain hook impact for damage reduced from 30 to 5. The enemy final position distance from Roadhog after being pulled in increased from 3 to 4 meters. This is actually a big one, meaning it's much harder to actually get all of your pellets onto somebody, which very much could gut the hero. This is not as big as this one is. Scrap gun, damage per pellet reduced from 6.6 to 6. Recovery time reduced from 8.85 to 8. Reload time reduced from 2 to 1.5 seconds, and the ammo was increased. So basically, it's not the rework. I think they came out and said that they were using this as a placeholder until they got the rework done. But if that's the case, then why wasn't this out weeks ago while Hog has been running rampant and ranked? You know, it just kind of seems like this is a little bit half-assed, but if they need time to make the rework in, get the rework in, then I guess that's fine. But the biggest nerf here, I think, is this. The damage and this. I'm curious how much damage Hog is actually going to be able to put out. His hooks will still be very good, but I still don't think the hero is healthy for the tank role. And this might be a makeshift solution that they've kind of decided that the game is better off with Hog Dumpster, potentially, than being in the game at all right now. And I agree, honestly. The game is definitely better without Roadhog. And I know people are probably upset about that, but he just has not been a healthy tank for the game since Open Q was swapped over to Roll Q, and he got a ton of buffs that he just did not need. So yeah, that basically they're trying to reduce the frustration of dying to one shot. They reduce the frustration of dying to one shots after being hooked in and pulled in by Roadhog. Reduce the frustration of dying to one shot. I'm gonna come back to this one. Trust me. Now let's get on to Sojourn here, fellas. Let's see how surely after all of this time, 4 or 5 months later from the game's release, after all of the betas, surely they can find a way to make Sojourn fair. Oh boy. All right, Sojourn damage. Energy gain is no longer based on damage done by primary fire. Each primary fire hit against an enemy player now grants 5 energy. Primary fire damage per projectile reduced from 10 to 9. So all this is reverting the buffs they gave her for no reason last patch, minus the overclock changes, right? So yeah, it's just, this does nothing. This does absolutely nothing, and it's embarrassing. Straight up, I'm just going to call it how it is. We're going villain arc here. We're going Stephen A on this. This is an embarrassment to game design. I don't know how you can spend this much time thinking about how to change these heroes, and this is the best you can come up with. Let's undo the buffs we accidentally gave her when she was the best hero in the game. It's beyond me. Actually, I think maybe Kiri was the best hero of the game, but we'll get to Kiriko next, because I can assure you, surely if they whiff on Sojourn and they whiff on Orisa, surely they can fix Kiriko and make her a little bit more in line with the rest of the characters. But we'll get to that in a moment. Don't you worry. Okay? Now, the developers say the energy gain adjustment will help smooth out Sojourn's average railgun charge time because it won't benefit as much from critical damage or damage boost abilities. Hitting armored targets or other sources of damage reduction will result in quicker energy gains than before. Previously, damage boost and critical damage had an amplified effect for Sojourn, since it reduced the time to build energy and lowered the threshold at which her railgun's secondary fire became lethal. The reduction of primary fire damage will further slow that down as well. So they've compensated and slowed down her ability to build rail, which was so broken on this patch that it was out of this world. And I'm going to tell you right here, right now, that this changes an absolutely grand total of nothing, dude. absolutely nothing, and it just goes to show you there is zero fundamental understanding of why these heroes are good in this game. It doesn't matter how many times you change the format. It doesn't matter how many times we have to go from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. Until you get people that understand why these things work the way they do, you are going to continue to not only get useless nerfs to many characters. They nerfed Brig 26 times, and she was still meta in Overwatch 1 because they just don't get it. And they never will, because this is pathetic. It is shameful that you promised you would be different, and this is the best you can do? Come on. Come on now, man. This is pathetic. Because this is only going to hurt the low-level players. Because what makes her so good is the fact that she can exist and build a secondary form of damage as if she's two characters in one for free while existing on her own. Just like if Soldier built a Helix Rocket just for shooting things. Let's take Helix Rocket off of a cooldown, make it so that he gets Helix just by shooting people, and let's let it crit too. It is absurd. And let's also give that character an AoE damage ability and the best mobility in the power DPS hit scan role, aside from Widowmaker, which also had her nerfs reverted for no reason. We're talking about one-shots, right? And all these burst combos that are super oppressive in 5v5, which was the big concern about 5v5, that have been addressed horribly. Absolutely horribly. And you just have to laugh about it. You really do. You really just got to laugh it off and say, you know what, dude? This is kind of funny. And I personally find this hilarious because this is justifying everything I've been saying for years about this company and about what's been going on. There is no understanding there. And you guys got to be better than this, man. You have to. So basically, we're back at square one with Sojourn here. But now she has her overclock buffs to compensate for inability to one-shot. But she still combos you so fast that she's just going to be so much better than pretty much every other DPS in that role, especially at high-level play, even though she's really struggles at low-level play because she's a very high skill ceiling hero. Like, if you're an average player, it's going to be tough to get value at Sojourn, and I get that they're trying to do that, but if that's what they want to do, they need to put Railgun on a cooldown and make it a little bit easier to hit people so the low SR players can actually get it done, but you have to put some kind of cap on what the high-level players are able to put out because they're going to hit those Railguns so consistently, like every 2 seconds, they're probably going to have one in the fight. Low SR players aren't going to do that, and they're going to miss, so that's what you need to do. I've said it a bunch of times, and maybe they'll get it, but we'll have some kind of charity bet or something as to how long it takes for them to fix it. We got to find a way to spin this to a positive, guys, because we all know where it's going. Now, let's get to Kiriko, another one of Jeff Goodman's finest, right? Now that he's no longer at Blizzard, surely she gets an impactful nerf. Kiriko, healing a Fuda. Recovery time increased from 0.85 to 1 second. Despite Kiriko's healing projectile being slow-moving and single target, her average healing output per match is higher than we'd like. We've seen players tend to get over-focused on maximizing her potential and only using primary fire. Rather than reduce the amount of healing per projectile, which may lead to feeling locked into focusing on primary fire even more. This is actually smart. This is actually smart. We're increasing the recovery time before she can start firing the healing of Fuda, increasing the recovery time. So this is like, they're right for what they're saying here as to what this is going to do, except it doesn't change what makes the hero OP. She can make an entire team invulnerable while cleansing and healing them, and she can teleport through walls on like a 7-second cooldown. Do you notice a common theme with these incredibly strong DLC heroes that have insane like utility? Super high mobility with the strong utility. How are heroes like Ana or Bap supposed to compete even though Bap has Immo? The difference between Immo and Kiriko is Kiriko basically has 2 Immos because not only can she cleanse herself and her team, but then she can TP out of damage that won't stick to her. So she has 2. And you want other supports to be able to compete with that? No. That's not going to work. That's why you have to change her invulnerability on the cleanse effect because, I mean, even an immortality effect would be better because at least you could interact with the people, but she shouldn't even have that because she already has the self-MO to TP away from situations on like a 7-second cooldown. It's insanely strong, and she gets invincibility frames. So she literally has 2 immortality fields with insane mobility and damage potential with one of the best ults in the game, and you think other heroes are going to be able to compete? No, of course they can't. It's just too much, man. It's too much. You want to change Kiriko and like start to make it more fair. Her ability to teleport around the map and be invulnerable is already insanely powerful, especially when she doesn't really have to aim while healing. You need to change the invulnerability next. Cleanse should not give an invulnerability. I don't know what kind of marijuana they were smoking down in California when they just continued to make immortality abilities. Actually, immortality, this goes above and beyond immortality. This is invulnerability. You can't even interact with them, and it's AoE applied cleanse and heal. It's just funny. You have to laugh it off. I like supports having utility. Kiriko's big utility is in her ability to teleport and apply the cleanse effect. It's baffling to me that they won't change this. Not to mention wall climb. The list goes on, guys. So, that's it. And that's all there is. That's all there is. And it is just absolutely hilarious to me. It's not just about what this patch has. It's about what it lacks. There's nothing in here. As the balance team, it's your job to lead the community into trying new, interesting things and making heroes feel rewarding. Sombra has a 39% win rate. I saw Fitzy talking about it. And listen, I hate Sombra, but they gave her the ability to hack while in stealth, which is never going to be a fair mechanic. They're not changing the low-end heroes that are underperforming and actually trying to spice up the game and make things different. So not only are they unable to make interesting changes to other characters, they can't even fix the things that they break right. All this did was undo their first mistake. So we're back at square one, right? Where they still can't realize it's just hilarious to watch. You got to be past the point of anger. You can't take it seriously. You just have to learn to laugh at it and try to make the most of it, guys. And that's what we're doing today. That's my PAX reaction. This is an embarrassment to game design, but you just have to laugh. Chat, we're going to start treating the balance team like the Dallas Cowboys, and we're Stephen A. Smith, because this is just absolutely hilarious. I'm off the ship. You just got to watch it and laugh. And let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is going to do you guys think this is going to do anything? Let me know what you guys think. Much love to all you guys at home, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.